Karen swiped a vet's army blanket. Her name ended up in headlines nationwide. What kind of person would steal a war veteran's cherished keepsake and brag about it? The alley behind Maple Street's community center was usually quiet, a place where old tires and forgotten crates gathered dust. But on that chilly October evening, it was a battlefield of emotions. Karen Whitaker, a local real estate agent known for her sharp tongue and sharper entitlement, stood at the center of a growing crowd. In her manicured hands, she clutched a faded green army blanket, its edges frayed from years of love. It wasn't hers. It belonged to Tom Hargrove, a 68-year-old Vietnam veteran who'd left it on a bench during a community fundraiser. Karen had seen it, smirked, and swiped it because, in her words, "It's just a rag, and I need it for my dog's bed." Tom's blanket wasn't just fabric. It was his anchor, a gift from his late brother who died in combat. He'd carried it through decades of nightmares, a tangible piece of his past that kept him grounded. When he realized it was gone, his heart sank. He wheeled himself through the crowd, his weathered face pale, asking if anyone had seen it. Whispers led him to Karen, who was now parading the blanket like a trophy, laughing to her friend about how she'd rescued it from some old guy's mess. The crowd's murmurs turned to gasps. Karen's audacity wasn't new. She'd built a reputation in town for bulldozing anyone who crossed her, complaining about neighbors' ugly lawns, berating waiters, and once trying to get a local park's memorial bench removed because it ruined her view. But this was different. Stealing a veteran's keepsake and flaunting it crossed a line no one could ignore. The truth unraveled fast. A teenage volunteer at the fundraiser, Mia, had seen Karen take the blanket. She'd hesitated to speak up. Karen's family had influence, and Mia's mom worked for one of Karen's clients. But when she saw Tom's trembling hands gripping his wheelchair, she couldn't stay silent. "I saw her take it," Mia blurted, her voice shaking but firm. She laughed and said it was trash. The crowd's anger surged. Karen, unfazed, rolled her eyes. "It's just a blanket, people. Get over it. He left it there, so it's fair game." But Mia wasn't done. She pulled out her phone, showing a video she'd quietly recorded. There was Karen, clear as day, snatching the blanket from the bench, tossing Tom's photo frame and medals into the dirt, and muttering, "This junk's not worth keeping." The crowd erupted. Tom's eyes filled with tears, not of weakness, but of rage. "That's my brother's," he said, voice low and steady. "You don't get to decide what it's worth." The confrontation exploded in the alley. Karen, cornered by the crowd's glares, doubled down. "I'm doing him a favor. Look at this thing, it's filthy." She shook the blanket, and a small, sewn-in patch with Tom's brother's initials tore off, fluttering to the ground. The crowd gasped again. A woman in the back, Mrs. Carter, a retired nurse who'd known Tom for years, stepped forward. "You're a disgrace, Karen," she said, her voice cutting through the chaos. "That man served our country, and you're treating his memories like garbage." Then came the twist no one expected. Among the crowd was Jake, a quiet man in his 30s who rarely spoke at community events. He was a freelance journalist, always scribbling notes, unnoticed by most. Jake had been at the fundraiser, covering it for a local blog. He'd seen everything, and he'd been live streaming the entire confrontation on his phone. "This is going viral," he said, stepping forward, his phone still recording. "Karen, your name's about to be everywhere." Karen's face paled, but she scoffed. "You're all overreacting. It's just a stupid blanket." She tossed it to the ground, stomping on it as she turned to leave. That was her fatal mistake. The crowd's outrage hit a boiling point. Mia, emboldened, picked up the blanket, dusted it off, and handed it to Tom, who clutched it like a lifeline. The video of Karen's tantrum, her callous words, and her stomping on a veteran's keepsake spread like wildfire. By morning, it had millions of views. News outlets picked it up, and hashtags like Justice for Tom and Karen Shame trended nationwide. Karen's downfall was swift and brutal. Her real estate business crumbled as clients dropped her, unwilling to associate with someone who'd so publicly disrespected a veteran. Her social media, once filled with smug posts about her perfect life, was flooded with criticism. Local businesses banned her. Even her friends distanced themselves, unwilling to defend her. The blanket's torn patch became a symbol of her cruelty, shared endlessly online. Karen tried to spin the story, posting a tearful apology video, but it was too late. Her insincerity was obvious, and the internet tore it apart. Tom, meanwhile, became a quiet hero. The community rallied around him. A local seamstress repaired the blanket's patch, and donations poured in to help him with medical bills. Mia, the teenager who'd spoken up, was praised for her courage, and Jake's video gave her a platform to share her story. The alley, once a place of conflict, became a site of unity, with a small plaque later installed to honor Tom's service and his brother's memory. Karen's name, once synonymous with power in her small town, was now a cautionary tale. She thought she could take what she wanted, dismiss who she pleased, and walk away unscathed. But her actions caught up with her, proving that even the smallest act of cruelty can ignite a firestorm. Tom's blanket, weathered but unbroken, stood as a testament to resilience, while Karen's legacy was reduced to a headline of shame. In the end, this wasn't just about a blanket. It was about respect, accountability, and the power of a community standing together. What do you think? Where do we draw the line between a mistake and a choice? Share your thoughts below.